Tales from Indian mythology. Stories of Lord Shiva. The fire pillar. After the creation of the universe, Lord Vishnu was lost in deep meditation. As time passed, a large lotus emerged from his navel. There was a golden egg inside the lotus. When the egg cracked, Lord Brahma emerged from it. He was surprised to see Lord Vishnu. Sensing Lord Brahma's presence, Lord Vishnu opened his eyes and said, "I am Vishnu, the supreme god of this universe. Who are you?" Lord Brahma replied, "I am Brahma, the god of knowledge and creation. I am the supreme god of the universe." The two gods argued for a long time and finally decided to duel to establish their supremacy over the other. They hurled devastating weapons at each other, but no winner emerged. Suddenly, a pillar of fire appeared out of nowhere. Their weapons disappeared in it, and Lord Shiva emerged out of the pillar. The contest. Lord Shiva commanded, "Stop, or you will destroy the universe I have created. Why are you fighting?" Both Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu staked their claim to be acknowledged as the supreme god of the universe. After all, they were both mighty. Lord Shiva smiled and decided to teach them a lesson in humility. He pointed to the pillar and said, "There is an easy way to resolve this quarrel. How about a contest? Whoever reaches the top or bottom of this fire pillar first shall be declared the supreme god of this universe." Both the gods agreed. Lord Vishnu transformed into a boar and began to dig the ground in order to reach the bottom of the pillar. Lord Brahma transformed into a swan and flew up high in the sky to find the top. Lord Vishnu continued to dig for a long time but was unable to find the bottom of the fire pillar. So he decided to go back and accept defeat. Meanwhile, Lord Brahma was unable to find the top of the pillar despite his best efforts. He was ready to concede defeat when he spotted a ketki flower. Lord Brahma returned holding the flower in his hand. He showed it to Lord Shiva and said, "I found this ketki flower at the top of the fire pillar. I have won this contest." Lord Vishnu, on the other hand, spoke the truth and accepted defeat. Lord Shiva was furious with Lord Brahma and put a curse on him. "You should not have lied. As you have spoken a lie, you will not be worshipped by anyone." Pleased with Lord Vishnu's humility, he said, "You shall have the same status as me in this universe." Daksh humiliates Shiva. Daksh was the son of Brahma. After appeasing the divine mother Adi Shakti, he was blessed with a girl whom he named Sati. When Sati grew up, she wanted to marry Lord Shiva. She appeased him with several penances, and Lord Shiva agreed to marry her. Arrogant Daksh agreed to the marriage reluctantly, and Sati married Lord Shiva. One day, Daksh organized a yajna at Prayag. Several sages, gods, and Lord Shiva were invited to it. When Daksh entered the yajnshala, everyone except Lord Shiva stood up to greet him. Daksh was extremely offended by this behavior. He humiliated Lord Shiva, saying, "I banish you from this ritual. From now on, no one will ever make an offering to you in a yajna." Lord Shiva was saddened to see Daksha's misbehavior and left. Sati. Daksh wanted to humiliate Lord Shiva further, so he organized another grand yajna. He invited everyone except Lord Shiva and Sati. When Sati found out about the yajna, she was hurt and decided to confront her father. Lord Shiva cautioned her, "You should not go if you are not invited. I advise you to go after the ceremony is over." Sati replied, Why would a daughter need an invitation to visit her own parents' house? I want to attend the yajna. When Lord Shiva saw that Sati was determined, he summoned Nandi and a few other ganas to escort Sati to her parents' home. Daksh was not happy to see Sati at the yajna. She immediately confronted him when she saw that there was no offering made to Lord Shiva. Daksh did not mask his hatred for Lord Shiva and said, I did not invite you to this yajna. Why have you come? Your husband is not an impostor. He has no regards for our traditions, our holy books, and he keeps objectionable company. He is not fit to receive our offerings. Unable to withstand her father's insults, Sati wept and said, I disobeyed my husband and came here, hoping that you would listen to me. However, you have insulted him right before me. I am ashamed to be your daughter. Filled with endless grief, remorse, and humiliation, Sati invoked a yogic fire and renounced her life. Shiva's retribution. Lord Shiva was worried when he saw Nandi return alone, weeping. His heart filled with grief when Nandi told him about Sati's demise. Soon, the grief gave way to rage. Lord Shiva assumed his darkest and most savage form. Veerbhadra, he led an army of his ganas and attacked Daksh and others who were present at the yajna. Sensing danger, Daksh prayed to Lord Vishnu and asked him to protect his guests from Shiva's wrath. Lord Vishnu agreed to help. As he fought Lord Shiva, he also pleaded with him to spare the innocent lives of the guests. Lord Shiva accepted this request and stopped fighting. Lord Shiva saw Daksh hiding and decided to punish him alone. Lord Shiva rushed towards Daksh, beheaded him with a single blow, and threw his head in the holy fire. His anger only subsided when he saw Sati's corpse. Dropping his weapon, he embraced her listless body and began weeping. After a while, the benevolent Shiva, at the request of Daksha's wife, revived Daksh. As Daksha's head was destroyed, Lord Shiva replaced the head with that of a goat. Without delay, Daksh begged for Lord Shiva's forgiveness the minute he came to life. Lord Shiva forgave him and left. He roamed earth like a nomad, hoping to be reunited with his beloved one day. Shiva's wrath. After a very long time, Sati was reincarnated as Parvati, the daughter of King Himvan and Queen Mena. One day, Lord Shiva came to King Himvan's kingdom and said, I wish to meditate in solitude. King Himvan ensured Lord Shiva that he would not be disturbed. While Shiva meditated, Parvati brought him fruits each day. Meanwhile, the demon Tarkasur had become the king of heaven. Due to a boon from Lord Brahma, he could only be killed by Shiva's son. So Lord Indra summoned Kamdev, the god of love, and asked him to move Lord Shiva such that he agrees to marry Parvati. Kamdev fired his Kamban, a magical arrow of love, at Lord Shiva precisely when Parvati arrived. Lord Shiva felt an instant attraction for Parvati, but he also realized why that was. Furious, he induced Kamdev to ashes. Shiva and Parvati. Lord Shiva left the meditation site in anger and was pacified only when the gods apologized for interfering in his life. Parvati was scared after witnessing Lord Shiva's fury. She was unsure whether or not he would accept her as his wife. One day, sage Narad met Parvati and said, Lord Shiva is an ascetic and can be appeased only by penance. So Parvati performed an austere penance, and finally Lord Shiva appeared and agreed to marry her. She asked him to meet her parents. Lord Shiva arrived at King Himvan's palace, disguised as Nataraj, an ordinary street dancer. Parvati recognized him instantly as he enthralled the audience with his divine dance. When the performance was over, Queen Mena offered him gold ornaments as a reward. However, Lord Shiva refused and said, I only seek your daughter's hand as my reward. King Himvan and Queen Mena were furious upon hearing this request from a stranger. Then Parvati requested Lord Shiva to reveal his true form. Upon seeing Shiva, King Himvan and Queen Mena accepted his proposal immediately. Lord Shiva and Parvati were married in a grand ceremony. After the wedding, Lord Shiva resurrected Kamdev from his ashes and forgave him. Andhak. One day, goddess Parvati playfully closed Lord Shiva's eyes with her hands while he was meditating on Mount Mandara. The entire universe got covered with darkness as Lord Shiva was blinded. Droplets of sweat from Parvati's hands fell on the ground, and a blind boy was born there. The divine couple named him Andhak. They gave the boy to Hiranyaksh, who had been praying to them for a child. Andhak was always ill-treated by his cousins due to his divine birth, so he meditated and prayed to Lord Brahma. Pleased with his devotion, Lord Brahma appeared before him and offered him a boon. Andhak replied, I want my eyesight restored, and I pray that I can only be killed if I wish to marry a woman who is like a mother to me. He thought that this would make him immortal. Brahma granted Andhak this boon. Andhak had become invincible due to his boon. He even invaded heaven and dethroned Indra. In no time, he had become the ruler of the three worlds. One day, Andhak was exploring Mount Mandara with his generals. The generals spotted Lord Shiva meditating in a cave with the goddess Parvati. They did not recognize the divine couple. The generals came back to Andhak and described Parvati as the most beautiful woman in the universe, fit to become his wife. So Andhak sent his army to fight Lord Shiva. During the battle, he tried to kidnap goddess Parvati. However, Shiva struck him with his trident and lifted him in the air. Andhak realized his mistake and repented for his sins. Lord Shiva forgave him and turned him into a Ganachef. Markandeya. Sage Marikandu and his wife Marudvati prayed to Lord Shiva to bless them with a child. Pleased with their devotion, Lord Shiva appeared before Sage Marikandu and said, I blessed you with an intelligent son, but he will only live for 16 years. Soon, Sage Marikandu and Marudvati were blessed with a son. They named him Markandeya. In time, Sage Marikandu told his son about his approaching death. Shocked but resolute, Markandeya built a Shivlinga and began to worship Lord Shiva with great devotion. On his 16th birthday, he was singing a bhajan when Yamaraj appeared to take him. In response, Markandeya clung to the Shivlinga at once. Lord Shiva appeared from within the Shivlinga and said, Don't touch this boy. He is my devotee. Yamaraj went away and Markandeya lived a long and virtuous life. Shiva and Arjun. One day, Arjun was worshipping Lord Shiva before a Shivlinga when suddenly a wild boar charged at him. Arjun quickly shot an arrow, killing it instantly. He, however, was surprised to see a second arrow stuck in the boar's body. A tribal chief approached Arjun and argued that it was his arrow that had killed the boar. The chief's wife suggested that they duel to settle the argument. Arjun fought skillfully but was unable to defeat the chief. Finally, he made a garland of flowers and placed it around the Shivlinga to seek Lord Shiva's blessings. To his surprise, the same garland appeared around the tribal chief's neck. Arjuna was humbled and bowed to Lord Shiva.